What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you, as ever, for stopping by. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. If you haven't done so already, if you could subscribe for me, please. If you could also like the video, share the video. Any comments that you want to make, please feel free. Leave them in the comment section down below. I really do appreciate you being here, like I said. So, let's get into the game. First loss of the season. A weird one, really. Really strange game overall. I felt, just purely because of the way it kind of panned out when you look at from a statistical point of view. 71% possession. We nearly 3x the number of passes that they had. Everything like that. Burnley weren't brilliant by any stretch of the imagination, but what they did do is they sat with a quite a strong low mid block, and we struggled to break through it. I thought that weird saying of a game of two halves, where in the first half we looked quite good, but in the second half, just very slow. And we all know what happens when we, slow the game down and play in that way. We weren't horrifically bad, but it's that thing of just finishing your chances. So, in the first half, within the opening minutes, we get the chance with Joseph. He should be putting that away. It's one of those things. He's young. That being able to put away will come. The more you look at it, the more it becomes a bit of a really bad miss, or what you would consider a bad miss. But I don't want to put loads of pressure on the guy because he is young. The goal that they score is, well, it's a catalogue of errors, really. You've got Solomon that slips. You can't legislate for that. You've got Bogle that then is stuck in terms of no man's land because he's got the defender coming in on the right-hand side. The attacker coming in on the right-hand side, plus the player coming on his left-hand side as well. And he took too long to make the decision of whether or not he should stick or he should twist in terms of going in. But if he goes to that player, it stops the player from being able to get to the edge of the box and taking a shot at the bare minimum. So the other side of that as well, which annoys me, is Mellier's positioning. It seems a little weird or a little off. I get that he was probably blocked by Bogle a little bit, but other than that, I don't remember any other sort of chances that Burnley had. And I said throughout the game that they were going to just sit on the ball quite a lot, and they would let us have possession and attack us and probably hit us on the break, which is kind of how I felt it was going to go. My big issue is we should have had a penalty, and you are not going to convince me otherwise. That tackle in from behind, 100% was a penalty. It doesn't matter if he gets the ball or not. He has to go through the player to get the ball. That should have been given as a penalty. No end of discussion. Nonto should have scored. And I would have expected him to have scored that as well. He lifts the ball when basically all he needs to do is just keep the ball on the floor, and it goes underneath Trafford with no problems whatsoever at all. I thought Aronson had a decent game. I thought Ampadu had an all right game. Gruev had an all right game. My big issue with us at the moment is filling that midfield section with two number sixes, which doesn't seem to be working at all, because the disconnect between the centre of defence, the number 10, is too great. It's too difficult of a position to try and minimise, because we've got two defensive-minded midfielders in now. Rothwell, I'm still yet to see what he brings to the table. Listen, this isn't me slating him at all. He didn't change very much for me, and I think the thing that I find annoying is that we have Ao Tanaka there, who there's going to have to be a decision made at some point, I think, because we can't keep playing with two number sixes as we are, with one of those sixes having to play as an 8. Tanaka, Farker said that he's been after him for the last 12 months, and why aren't we playing him? The same as Ramazani. You can't just bring them on with less than 15 minutes to go, because they're not going to make the changes that you want them to make. Felt sorry for Solomon. Solomon was playing really well. I wouldn't have taken Aronson off. I thought Aronson was having a really decent game. It was quite evident once Aronson came off that connection that we did have kind of disappeared a little bit. Yes, Aronson might not be, our ideal number 10. But what he is doing at the moment is he's stitching it together well. He's ratting around really well. His passing is good. His first touch is getting better and better. He is our player of the month for August, so it's surprised by that one. Piru coming on doesn't make any sense to me. Byram coming on also doesn't make any sense to me at all when we're chasing the game. We've got Schmidt. Why not put Schmidt on? The changes coming a little bit too late again. I mean, it's a weird one because I'm still kind of glass is half full kind of scenario. Burnley aren't that great of a team. What they did very, very well was they were set up to defend. They got the break with the goal, and then they didn't have to try very, very hard to win the game overall. My big thing is Farke needs to stop making his substitutes at 70 minutes, don't really change it. I felt that Ampadu was injured after that tackle with Hannibal and should have come off at half-time. You have to look to take Gruev or Hannibal off, Gruev or Ampadu off, and put Tanaka on and give Tanaka the license to be that connection between the 10 and the defence. It doesn't seem to be working quite right, that for me yet. And whilst I'm not going to lose my shit over everything completely, my worry is where are the goals going to come from? And are we going to start to see the same patterns that we saw last season in terms of where substitutions are made, who's being substituted, etc., so on and so forth? I would really, really like to see Tanaka start against Cardiff, personally. But, that's just me. Maybe Ramazani as well in the number 10 role, even though I do think that Aronson is doing a good job. It's a difficult one. It's a bitter pill to swallow because it's a loss. It's a bitter pill to swallow because it is against a quote-unquote promotion rival, but it needs to be a wake-up call as well. We need to stop facilitating these two number 6s playing together. And we need to stop slowing the game down as much. And that's the problem that you've got when you've got Ampadu and you've got Gruev in that space, occupying that space, with one of them pretending to be a number 8. The play becomes very, very passive then. There's the verticality, as people like to call it, the speed of play, it gets slowed down because they're not dithering on the ball, but rather than looking for that forward pass, that cutting pass, that killer pass, they're looking more about keeping the possession. And at the end of the day, the stats can say that you're absolutely amazing, but if you're not doing anything with those, then it doesn't really matter. Bad day at the office. That's what I'm going to put it down to. And let's see how it goes. The people calling for Farke out, not yet. Breathe, and let's move on to the next one. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Sunderland lost today as well, so the runaway leaders, losing to Wayne Rooney's Plymouth. Listen, anybody can beat anybody in this league. It's far weaker than what it was last time around. We just need to just roll it back a little bit. Yes, we can be disappointed. Yes, we can be pissed off. Yes, we can say Farke made his substitutions a little bit too late. Certain people not doing what they should be doing. Joseph should be scoring that goal. Nonto should be scoring that goal. It's one of those things. It happens. You can't legislate for a slip. That's going to do it for this one. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. Subscribe for me as well. Make any comments that you want to make. I'm sure people are going to disagree with me. That's absolutely fine. That's why the channel's called Leeds Therapy. Get it off your chest. Get it in the comments. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourself. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.